Hello, you guys. I'm back again with another episode of the Let's Be Honest podcast. Y'all know who it is. It's your man, Big Bro Tone. And I am feeling amazing today. Not just today, but I'm feeling amazing as of late because it's so much new music to get into. It's so much new music to get into. When you think about it, it's like the hip-hop gods, the music gods have been blessing us abundantly with so much content to digest, to siphon through. I'm gonna get right into it because Childish Gambino shook. I'll say it again. Childish Gambino shook the game by dropping his new song and new video for This Is America. Now, already in the title of the song, you get a feeling for where he's heading with this. So, for me personally, let me just describe my experience handling everything. So, well, first things first, I want to say a couple days ago, I saw the video for the first time. And I've watched the video, I want to say like more than 7 to 8 times, probably 10 times to be quite honest with you. And that's just been straight up. I think I watched the video. I just stopped counting. But I want to go into some of the songs because let's describe the video. It starts off with him. It starts off with a guy. I'm pretty sure he's an African guy, but a black guy. Sitting in the chair playing the guitar, and it sounds like an old African spiritual or something like that, or some kind of like Negro spiritual. And then you got Gambino standing there, shirt off, gold chain, dress pants, and just vibing. The video is so, for lack of better terms, the video is so black, and I love it. That video is so black. I know it made so many white people uncomfortable. That shit was so dope, so hard, so relevant. Stylistically, I feel like if you're an oblivious, like Charlamagne the God would say, crack-ass cracker, the whole video went over your head. And it's a few things you could take away from it, just being totally honest with you. He had a couple things in it that spoke on things that happened in our nation's past. For example, he had the church choir singing, and then all of a sudden an AK just sprayed him and killed them all. That was a reference to the Charleston, South Carolina murder in that church where that white boy went crazy. He showed up at a church at a random ass time and sat there and prayed with the people and did all the regular stuff with those people and then killed them. But no mercy. So, rest in peace to the dead. God bless the dead. Those Childish Gambino shed more light on that, showing that stuff like that is still going on, and we can't turn a blind eye to it. We can't. We gotta be more. We have to remain aware. In the background while he's dancing, you see cops chasing people running rampant, causing a rampage, and it's one part of the video where you see children on like a balcony of some sort, and they're recording the entire thing. And that just goes to show you in the society we live in now that people can't help but to record every little thing they see, every little thing they do. We tend to not live in the moment, and we feel like we need to capture the moment to save for later, and that's not organic. You know what I mean? I'm a victim of it too. I'm far from self-righteous. I used to be extremely self-righteous. Used to hold myself on this pedestal, thinking I was untouchable, or thinking I was incapable of doing right or wrong things. You know what I mean? Thinking I was incapable of doing boneheaded things, but that was proven throughout my college experience. So I'm far from exempt from, the culture we live in today. We're constantly trying to recreate moments that we need to just live with and live in. You know what I mean? We think we need to record everything to watch. And 9 times out of 10, when you record something, you're not going to watch it again after you post it. You know what I mean? So most of the time, we just record stuff and post stuff, for the shock value or whatever. And I think that's what that video embodied. It embodied the constant distraction we're always in, the constant state of, I want to say the constant state of flux in the human psyche. We're always, we live in a time where we're distracted by so much information that it's real easy to, forget about the nuances of a lot of things. A lot of things, going on culturally, racially, politically, things that are just happening, in our backyards. You know what I mean? Childish channeled a lot in this video. And I love how he channeled a lot of the traditional African dances and mixed it in with a lot of the modern dances. But the funny thing is, a lot of these modern dances are just disambiguations of, African dances, you know what I mean? It goes hand in hand, and everything just flowed so well. I love how he had the children dancing with him, and it was honestly just a moment for the culture. And the more I watched it, the more I began to unpack certain things, and the more I began to realize that Donald himself in the video is a distraction. If you watch the video once or twice and just saw a dope video, try to look a little deeper. When you try to look past Donald, try to look past Childish Gambino. You know what I mean? I think he's the utmost distraction in the music video, and he's trying to show you that this is America. We're constantly being distracted by this headline or this celebrity's latest antics or, this godforsaken natural disaster. We're constantly distracted by the things we're constantly distracted by unnecessary things, and those distractions are causing us to not pay attention to the relevant things that need to be paid attention to. We need to focus more on love and unity and diversity and diversifying, our relationships and everything, and just growing as a people, as a civilization, as human beings. And through social media and through the constant barrage of media frenzies and headlines, you find yourself getting so caught up in that life, or the life you like to call a life that you don't even live. It's other people's lives, and we're not even focused on bettering our own communities, bettering our own people. You know what I mean? It's just the music video was a metaphor for so much that's going on right now, and it can't be overlooked. So we talked about it, as far as the symbolism and what little things meant. Another thing, I thought it was crazy how you noticed the lack of gun control throughout the video. Like, you saw Donald using these weapons, killing the man at the beginning, killing the church choir. It just shows you the lack. But the way he got rid of the guns was interesting to me. The first time when he shot the gun, he handed it off to a kid in a red cloth. Second time he shot the AK, he tossed it off to the kids, and they gun control, gun care. You know what I mean? He's just playing on a lot of things that as America we struggle with and we can't find common ground on. Definitely gun control. Definitely police brutality. Racial tensions. Being a black man in America, and you see that in just how he depicted himself. A black man, a bearded black man at that. You see me, beard gang, and it's real easy to get profiled. You know what I mean? As far as they know, I look like any other nigga in Philly, and it shouldn't be that way. And as far as Childish video goes, he's any black man. You know what I mean? And I think that's what he's trying to show you, that no one's exempt from the bullshit of daily life. No one's exempt from the racial bullshit we got to go through on a daily basis. You know what I mean? It's we're living in a unique time where we have to be aware. You have to be aware. And I was having a conversation with one of my coworkers, my boy Sam, dope individual. He brought something to my attention, and this is just, racial tensions aside, or socially conscious stuff aside. This is just, now we're just talking about the music itself, the actual, we were talking about the way the music sounded, the delivery of the music, how it was packaged, production, lyricism, all that kind of stuff. And he brought something to my attention. He said, "Hey, listen, these a lot of these conscious guys, a lot of these conscious artists, they're starting to figure it out." And I was like, and then that led me to ask, what do you mean? That begged the question, what do you mean figure out what? So he proposed a theory, of music theory. He proposed that a lot of these conscious rappers are starting to figure out how to make these club or these radio records and make them sound like, these typical, radio hits. For example, Gucci Gang, extremely popular song, you know what I mean? Catchy, you know what I mean? Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang. Real extremely popular, you know what I mean? Catchy as fuck. He's trying to imply that these conscious rappers, the rapidy rap niggas, they're figuring out a way, they're figuring out the formula to create these conscious radio hits, these conscious songs that you can play in the club, play at the strip club, and you still invoke a little bit of thought. In other words, dumbing it down a little bit, but not just dumbing it down, finding a way to make it digestible for the consumer. You know what I mean? Donald's song is a perfect example. This is America. Like, he not really pronouncing his word, you know what I mean? It's something you just sing, you hum, it's a feeling, it's a vibe, you know what I mean? And that's something people say about a lot of the music now when it's being criticized. Oh, you don't get it, it's a vibe, you know what I mean? It's a feeling. So I think that's what these conscious rappers, like Childish, conscious artists, like J. Cole, is starting to figure out the formula, how to create these songs that still invoke a little thought, but at the same time, keep you interested. They understand that this is the time we live in. Perfect example again, J. Cole's ATM. Count it up, count it up, count it up, count it. It's something you want to say in the club, but at the same time, he's trying to show you it's deeper than just what he's saying. So they're finding a way to hide the message in between the bullshit. You know what I mean? Bullshit is like a better term. They're finding a way to mask the message in the hits, and that was a unique perspective. He my friend Sam, my coworker, brought to me. I never thought about it like that, and I'm gonna look and looking forward. We should pay attention to that. Looking forward, we should be more mindful of. Be more mindful of these conscious rappers. Like the bottom line is, he said they gonna get these new niggas out of here. You know what I mean? They gonna get all these, pill popping young bulls, all these littles out of here. They gonna get them out of here because they finding a way to take their trap and give the people a better product. You see what I'm saying? So be on the lookout for that, you guys. But it's been on another note, it's been so much music dropping as of late. Rae Sremmurd just dropped their triple album. The Superfly album is on its way. So Future released a single with Party Next Door entitled No Shame. Travis Scott just released a new single with Lil Uzi Vert and Kanye entitled Watch. Wiz just dropped a new song, Real Rich with Gucci. I already mentioned Childish Gambino's This Is America. T Grizzly's album is about to drop very, very soon. But I want to talk about things that have dropped as of late. So the Rae Sremmurd album, dope. Triple album, I mentioned that. Desiigner's EP, L.O.D, definitely anticipated. We've been waiting on that. He dropped that That project is dope. Block Boy JB, he dropped his mixtape. I guess I want to say his debut project. Simi. Pretty dope project. Another project I feel like that's been flying under the radar, and I'm mentioning all these projects, but we're going to unpack a lot of these. You know what I mean? We're going to dive deep into particular projects that pique my interest. So one in particular that I was just listening to the other day, had the opportunity to listen to it a couple times through. G-Host, Styles P new album, or Ghost, however you want to say it. Yo, Styles ain't miss a beat, ain't miss the dude's lyrical performance on each and every song is transcendent. My man sound just like the days from D Block and Jada. You know what I mean? People forget they were signing Bad Boy back in the day. Like, Styles, it's funny for Styles to exist in a time where, you know, New York hip hop is kind of taking a turn for, you know, a new era or a new sound. You know what I mean? It's New York hip hop. It's been expanded as far as how the sound itself. You know, you got artists like a Playboy Cardi, you got the ASAP Mob and their unique sound. You know what I mean? They kind of channel the Houston sound a little bit, especially back in the day, especially the ASAP Rocky. You got ASAP Ferg, who kind of has like a unique sound, not a traditional New York sound. But at the same time, you got artists like Dave East who have that balance, and, you know, Young and May. You got your A Boogies who's more of a melodic rapper. He raps more about love. You got your Don Q's. So those artists that are similar to Styles still exists, and he's showing that, hey, listen, y'all young cats out here, but I still got it. I could run with the best. He got one of my favorite songs off the project. A couple of my favorite songs, Welfare featuring Whispers, Wait Your Turn B, snapped on that drum. What else? Coolest OG. Different shit. The Styles P album, G-Host, aka Ghost. Y'all need to go check it out. It's the lyrical performance itself going hard on these typical yet atypical New York beats, and his features aren't well known people, but they get the job done. You know what I mean? It's it doesn't leave you disappointed whatsoever. The production is great. It's not just rap over corny beats. It's actual dope ass production, and he really leaves you wanting more. He leaves you in a state of, yo, this guy ain't missed a fucking beat. Seriously. You know, Styles been on his, you know, I think vegan / juicing kick. I don't know if he a vegan or if he juicing, but like you know, juicing is a real popular thing now, you know, just sticking to, you know, the greens and, you know, all natural antioxidants, all that kind of stuff. So Styles P is on a journey right now, and he's still showing that music is a top priority, and he's killing it. So Styles, I salute you on this album. Y'all need to go check out G-Host featuring Styles P. A dope ass project. Another project I made my way through. L.O.D, Desiigner. Now, Desiigner, he's in a unique place right now because I feel as though the pressure has been high. The pressure has been high on Desiigner. Let's think back. He dropped Panda in 2015, right? Just for context, to make sure, you know, we got our timeline right. He dropped Panda in 2015, right? And That song was a smash hit. Number one, easily. Song went diamond. No questions asked. But now, people have been waiting for him to follow up with that. And he has released the music in 2016 and late 2017. He has put out the music. He has been, you know, trying to feed us, I guess you'll say, and keep everything bubbling for itself. But at the same time, none of his songs have had that impact of a Panda. You know what I mean? He's dropped songs like Up in 2017, which I love. I love the song Up. I've been riding through the city, yeah, trying to fuck my night up. I'ma get rich. Like, he has songs. I just don't think they've been catching like Panda. Also, he dropped songs like Thank God I Got It. Dope track in my opinion. Timmy Turner, dope track in 2016. Had the remix with Yeezy in 2016. You know, Up and Thank God I Got It came out in 2017. Outlet came out in 2017. That's a dope ass track. He Life with Gucci Mane, 2017. So he gave us songs. I feel like they just haven't been hitting. People have been saying Desiigner have been dropping shit. He has. Y'all just haven't been listening. Being honest, I gravitated towards Desiigner early on just for the simple fact that he was signed to good music. A lot of people think Kanye's the one that signed him, but in reality, it was really Pusha T. So a lot of people think he's Kanye's artist. In a sense, he is, but all in all, he's essentially Pusha T's artist because Pusha T signed him to the Good Music label, to the Good Music imprint. So he has been releasing the songs. They just haven't had that impact of a Panda, and it's hard to follow up a song that gets as huge, that gets as big as a song like Panda. Panda was a freak of nature. Panda was a song that no one saw coming. Panda had a unique rollout. The song came out first, and it was bubbling. And then once Kanye West put it on TLOP, The Life of Pablo, that changed the trajectory of that song entirely. Shot it up. The song went diamond. There's no debate about it. But like I said, it's near impossible for people to recreate that lightning in the bottle, I guess you'll say. And they put that, I don't know, I kind of call it unfair. It's almost like a rookie batter in baseball. It's almost like a rookie center fielder in baseball going up to the plate, and it's his first at bat, and he hits a home run. And on his first at bat, boom. Now he set a precedent. He set a standard. He set a standard that's so high that it becomes hard to replicate. Now, sports may be I always look at sports and hip hop, hand in hand. I feel like those kind of share the same narratives in a way. Yeah, it's almost like a basketball player in his rookie game dropping 30 in his first game, and now you set a precedent. People think that's what you're going to be able to do. You've created lightning in a bottle, and people are expecting you to recreate that same magic. And as far as the music game goes, it's hard as hell to recreate something like that. You have rare artists who are capable of just giving you number one hits back to back to back. It's rare. Normally that privilege is only privy to, pop artists. It's hard in hip hop to recreate that. So he has given us music. We just haven't been receptive of it. I have, but the masses clearly have not. But so that's the timeline. 2015 Panda, 2016 Timmy Turner and the Timmy Turner remix with Yeezy. 2017 he dropped Up, Thank God I Got It, Life, and Outlet. Dope tracks all around, in my opinion. He also was on tour with Steve Aoki and over in Eastern countries, Japan, Korea, that sort of thing. He was touring, building his credibility, building his name up internationally, which I respect. Keeping the brand alive and everything while he creates music. And now it's 2018 and he's released L.O.D. And L.O.D, 7 tracks. The project itself, I want to say, is no more than a half an hour long. So it's really easy to digest. So Desiigner gave us L.O.D. and the songs are dope. I'll be honest. Maybe I'm biased. Maybe I have a soft spot for Desiigner. You know what I mean? But for the most part, I really like the tracks on L.O.D. Price Tag is dope. Tonka's dope. After Party's dope. LA to New York is dope. Like, just the project as a whole is a pretty dope project. But he had an interview with the Breakfast Club, and he mentioned that, this project is just the beginning. This is just the baby. The big project comes out later on this year. Good Music is slated to have a very, very dope year. Good Music is slated to have a lot of albums come out. Kanye's album, I believe, is coming out, and I believe Kanye is dropping an album with Kid Cudi, and Pusha T's album is dropping. Designer's album is dropping. Teyana Taylor's album is dropping. It's just a dope. It's just a dope time for Good Music. And I mentioned the Breakfast Club interview. In that interview, he mentioned there's a science behind his music. He said a lot of times people think he just going off on tangents and is rambling and he just be wilding. And Desiigner is a high energy act. He's a high energy type of guy. You know what I mean? But the dude, he explained the science behind. His studio sessions. He was explaining, and I never thought about it like this. He explained that behind most hits, most of the time they're hits and they stick with people sonically, is because of the vowel usage in the hooks or the choruses or whatever may have you. So he started saying he started giving you examples. Examples like Hurricane Chris, A baby, the vowel usage, A-E-I-O-U, and sometimes Y. So it led me to just go back. Songs like Bodak Yellow, Cardi B's Bodak Yellow. If you wanted to, these expensive red bottom, these bloody shoes, the vowel usage. I'm like, wow, this dude really got, this man really thinking behind these songs. You know what I mean? So I, and we're back. You guys are listening to the Let's Be Honest podcast. And I really love doing this fucking podcast. I'm learning more and more about myself. Well, I guess I'm learning more and more about the world around me, because not the project. See, I'm still stuck on the music tip. Well, hold on. Before I get into my own personal introspection, let's just get back to the music. So we were talking about the Rae Sremmurd album, divided into 3 parts, meant to give more exposure to each individual act, and it could be set to prime Sway Lee's debut solo album and Slim Jimmy's debut solo album. Now, a lot of people have been trying to break these guys up for some apparent reason, and I do not know why. But that's just the media for you. That's just the narrative that people like to deliver and establish. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Those guys are meant to be together, and plus they're brothers. You can't come between something like that. I think people have been trying to do the same thing with the Migos. Try to low key break them up and make their heads bigger than what it already is, and make them believe that they're better off alone. Nah, they're still the Migos. Still their family. See, what a lot of these, I think, labels and media guys aren't understanding is that a lot of these groups that are coming out now, they're not just put together groups. Back in the day, a lot of these rap groups or a lot of these R&B groups, they were just put together based off talent, not really chemistry, and they built the chemistry over time. Now, a lot of these groups are self-proclaimed, and they've developed their own chemistry, their family already. They grew up together, so it's hard for you to come in between that. Now these labels don't know how to handle it. You know what I mean? They're trying to make more money by dividing and conquering, but you can only divide them, but so long. You know, don't get it twisted. You know, artists like the Migos have ventured off and did their own solo projects, but there have been compilation projects with other artists like Offset and 21 Savage, Quavo, and Travis Scott, and now Takeoff is about to release this project with Lil Yachty. So they know what they're doing, and they're still keeping it essentially in house. Lil Yachty is on QC, along with the Migos. 21 Savage is from Atlanta, where the Migos are from. Travis Scott and Quavo have a really dope chemistry, and they make a lot of music together. And Travis Scott is from Houston, from the South, so they got that lineage, they got that that camaraderie, I guess you'll say. So, yeah, these groups are killing the game right now, and Rae Sremmurd is definitely one of them. The Sherm Life 3 album is extremely dope. Definitely dope songs on it. The funny thing is though, they get right into it and they give you great songs. Every song could potentially be a hit on its own, a single on its own. And I think that's what they're really good at. They're really good at, especially Sway Lee. Sway Lee is definitely their mastermind. You can tell he has a unique ear, and it's funny. They in an interview with the Breakfast Club, I referenced the Breakfast Club a lot because I fuck with the Breakfast Club. But in an interview with the Breakfast Club, these motherfuckers said they got thousands of songs. They're not even tripping about this music. Like, they got so much songs that they release, it's ridiculous. Yo, thousands. Sometimes I wonder how artists are capable of just making these songs, thousands and thousands of songs, and not releasing them. I wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't be able to like create an album, because I would like every song I put out or make, because I'm my own biggest fan. But I just don't know how sometimes they do this shit. But music is in a good space right now. I never talked about Post Malone's Bare Bongs and Bentleys. That's a really dope project also. I think he upped the ante from Stoney. Stoney was a dope project. Stoney was actually amazing. And he upped the ante. One of my favorite songs off the project is Taking Shots, Other Side, Zach and Codeine, Better Now. He had a lot of songs that charted, and the song went platinum on the day of. That's amazing. It's fucking unheard of, actually. But as I mentioned earlier, this podcast has allowed for me to really, really dive deep into like the world around me, the culture around me. Just be more aware. I was speaking about awareness earlier, and we live in an age of information, and we can just get anything and everything when we want it, and that's nerve-wracking a little bit. It's kind of intimidating. I'll admit, it's pretty intimidating for me to do this podcast. It's something that anyone can do, but I'm trying my best to separate myself from the rest. I'm trying myself to give organically rich content. I'm trying my best to really give you guys wholesome content to digest. And, like I said, I'm learning more and more about myself in this process, throughout it all. It's scary. I'll admit, I'm taking a lot of risk, doing what I'm doing. I got my college degree. I managed to graduate, cum laude, and managed to do my thing. But at the same time, I'm not taking the traditional route to success, I guess you'll say. I'm taking a risk. I don't want to, fuck it, like, I'm not trying to be famous. You know what I mean? I just want to be respected and loved by my peers. And, I just love creating. And I'm at my happiest when I'm doing stuff like this. I'm at my happiest when I'm creating content like this. I did the college radio thing and I love it. And when you fall in love with something like that, you fall in love with your art, you feel like it's an itch you need to get off. Like you can't, it's so hard for you to let go or not take a chance on something and wonder, and then 20 years later you wondering, what if I took this opportunity? What if I really kept it going? I want to take this as far as I really can. And, I can always get a job. I can always get a career. I'm only 23 and, the world is my oyster in a sense. I'm inspired by, a lot of my favorite artists. I'm inspired by a lot of these music artists because what a lot of people don't understand is they think a lot of these people are just placed in these situations. I wouldn't know for sure because I'm not there, but I just think it's unrealistic for you to think that a lot of these artists are just created. It's not the 90s anymore. Artists aren't really created. A lot of these people are coming in with their own clout, their own fan base, and now they're, they just doing their own thing. A lot of artists aren't even depending on labels anymore. They're banking on themselves, to be successful independently. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to bank on myself and create my own avenue of success, create my own content, create my own platform to get my voice heard, to get myself out there. And I'm enjoying every minute of it, to be quite honest with you. Don't get me wrong, there have definitely been hiccups along the way. The hardest part about this whole process is being consistent, and I've noticed that right away. It's not as easy as it seems to get up every day and create this content. Well, let me explain why it's not that easy. Because I'm still learning, and I'm going through the growing pains of learning how to develop my own content, learning how to edit, the visuals, learning how to, hack the internet and get my shit heard. It's discouraging sometimes, but when I'm creating, I'm at my happiest, and I can't deny that feeling. It's undeniable. I can't allow myself to make it to 45 and wonder what if. I can't allow myself to not take this chance. I can't knock myself for trying. And who can knock someone for trying? Since when did it become uncool to try? People get on people so much for just trying to try something they've never done before. Not try something other people have done before. Try something I've never done before. You probably done it and you think it doesn't work, but I've never done it and I want to give it a shot. There's so many people out there who kept going with their dreams and they never stopped, and they managed to turn it into something. I look up to creators like Michael B. Jordan. I look up to creators like Stephen A. Smith. I look up to creators like Charlamagne the God. I look up to creators like, Joe Budden. I look up to creators like Danny Boyega. I'm sorry, it's John Boyega. I'm so sorry. My man from Star Wars and Pacific Rim 2. My man. I look up to creators like, definitely black creators, because I relate to them the most. And it's just, I just can't allow myself to lose sight of my dream. And I always encourage those to fight for your dream. Fight for it. And do not let anybody take that away from you. You deserve any and everything. If you want it, go get it. If you want it, go get it. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to go get it. I'm going to use this podcast to build leverage for myself, to show that I'm capable of creating my own content, capable of delivering dope conversation, dope critiques, and just being a dope person to talk to. I pride myself on just being somebody that you can just rock with. I think I'm pretty easy to talk to. On the outside looking in, people think I'm extremely confident. You know what I mean? But I'm normal, just like you. Like I have my days where I'm not the most confident. You know what I mean? I have my days where, I'm not feeling it. You know what I mean? But the music keeps me humble. The music keeps me interested. Creating keeps me humble. You guys keep me interested. I love talking. Shit. Everybody that know me will tell you, I talk your fucking head off. I love voicing my opinion for the most part. I love giving analysis. I love unpacking things. I love thinking on level 4 instead of level 2. You feel me? I love peeling back the layers of everyday life. And I think that's what we should all do as human beings. It's our duty. We should do our due diligence to not just seek headlines and not just seek shock value, but truly seek dope conversation, dope analysis, dope deliberation. And that's how we find common ground in this world. That's how we find, a steady pace, and that's how we just learn more and more about each other. That's how we develop empathy, by becoming better communicators amongst each other. And this podcast is giving me the avenue to communicate with the world. I think that's so amazing that we have the capability to just create and put shit out in the world for everyone to consume. Now, not saying everyone's going to consume it, but I just think that's dope that I can just put something out there and it's out there for anybody to listen to. Anybody. That's cool to me. I don't know if that's cool to y'all, but that's cool to me. How can one just overlook something like that? We have the ability to create our own success. We have the capability to create our own financial freedom. Social media isn't just a curse, it's also a gift. It's a business tool, and that's what I'm using it for. Not just, just to surf, other people's lives, but I want to show that, I'm on a journey, and I want people to see my journey. Everyone's on a journey. Everyone's moving at their own pace. I think it's dope that people are just creating these businesses through social media and on their own with a laptop or a cell phone. I just think it's so dope. How can you hate on that? How can you disregard that? There's so many ways to get it out here. And some of us just aren't taking advantage. Whatever business you're in, social media will always be a tool for you if you use it for good. Creating dope content for people, putting it out there to be consumed by people. That's a gift on its own. And I'm so humbled by that. I'm so appreciative of that simple luxury that I have. I invested in my own equipment. My cameras, my tripods, laptops, microphones. I did this myself, and I invested in it because I wanted to take that chance. And now that I've invested in this equipment, there's no turning back for me. I'm gonna look into the camera and say this. It's no turning back for me at this point. Now, if I'm 35 or 30 or whatever, and this shit still ain't kicked off, okay, I advise somebody to tell me that, hey, my man, maybe it's time for you to get a day job. Yeah, don't get it twisted. I'm always be working in between this shit. I'm never gonna be ass out like that. But my dream is gonna stay alive until this shit die. At some point, you do gotta wake up and say, all right, time for you to just keep a G with yourself. Certain things just don't pick up. But every now and again, you're an opportunity away. You're one opportunity away. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand. You're one opportunity away from being successful. You're one conversation away from being successful sometimes. An opportunity is any and everything. Sometimes an opportunity is all we need. Let's be honest. We all were put on this planet not just to exist. And I feel like a lot of us are existing. Just that's all we're doing is existing. It's time for us to take accountability for our dreams, to take accountability for our creativity, and allow ourselves to express that, to be free. As human beings, you deserve that. You deserve creative freedom. You deserve financial freedom. You deserve emotional freedom. You deserve mental freedom. We all have the opportunity. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I don't care what moment you are in your life. I believe at any given time in your life, you're capable of doing great things, changing your life for the better. I will never drop that philosophy. That's just how I'm living. Call me crazy. Call me unrealistic. But you can definitely call me an optimist. I don't know. Maybe I'm just on this kick that anything's possible. I feel like KG. Anything's possible. I feel like my man KG. Like, I just believe that, honestly. I wish a lot more people believe that. You know, sometimes we're stuck in this limbo thinking. Sometimes people are stuck in the limbo of cycles, stuck in the limbo of just constant loops of the same things in their lives, and they're unfulfilled. They're unhappy. They're saying they hate their job. They want more money, want more freedom. But freedom doesn't come without sacrifice. Freedom doesn't come without hard work and dedication. No matter what kind of freedom you want. Whatever freedom you desire, you can go get it. You just gotta want it bad enough. You just gotta want it bad enough. I'm so bent on not only putting myself in position, but I want to put others in position. I want to give other people's opportunities to get their content heard. And I have the chance to do that. We all have the chance to access our Black privilege. I just finished that book, and the book was life-changing. The book showed me that no matter where you're from, no matter what the circumstances are, no matter what your creed, race, gender, whatever, you have to take responsibility for your dreams. You have to take accountability. And you have to understand that we all have a privilege. We just have to access it. Access your Black privilege. Because opportunity only comes to those that create it. Let's just be honest. On that note, you guys were tuned into another candid episode of the Let's Be Honest podcast. We talked about a lot of dope things. We recapped a lot of music that came out. You know, the Rae Sremmurd album. You know, we talked about Childish Gambino's This Is America music video. We didn't really talk about sports, but I'm gonna leave that for another episode. I think I'm gonna create another podcast separately for the sports, because sometimes there's so much I want to say about sports that I don't want the Let's Be Honest podcast to just be about that. The Let's Be Honest podcast is mainly surfaced around creativity, invoking creativity, giving creativity an outlet to be shown, and you know, just talking about dope music, dope content. Sports is a whole nother monster on its own, and that deserves another platform. So I'm debating about starting another podcast, you know, centered around that. So, you know, be on the lookout for that, you guys. Hold me to that, all right? You guys were tuned into another amazing episode of the Let's Be Honest podcast. I am your humble host, Big Bro Tone. Please keep it locked. Always tune in. I love you guys. Stay humble, healthy, and hungry. God is love. He's the only love. Peace out.